how to connect any website, even though you have values that change oftenly, into Excel. We are going to basically import a table. It doesn't matter if it has several columns, because we can cut off those columns that we are not going to use, like I did here using the Power Query, and keep up with only with the data we are looking for. And the cool thing is, on top of this table, we can also insert a pivot table, a chart, and also update the data so it doesn't get outdated. Let me go to data, refresh all, and then refresh all. As you guys are going to see here on the left, the values are going to be automatically updated for me. So step by step from scratch, let's see how can we use Excel and connect it to any website. To get started and pulling data from a website into Excel, we first need to have a website to use. And in this case, I'm going to use this specific website right here. That is the Coin Market Cap. But why is that? It's not a sponsored video. Okay, I just think it's important to me mention the website name because I'm using it for educational purposes. But why I'm using this specific website? Because here I can see a table with different live values, prices for different currencies, cryptocurrencies. And those values update oftenly, as you guys can see here on the screen. The values are constantly changing. So this is a very interesting website to me show you how Excel works in this situation, how Excel handle to connect with a website page, for example. Okay, the next step, now I have the website I'm going to use. I want to return all this data from this specific table, pull all this data. I can go to the header of the website and click on the search bar to select everything. We need to copy the address. So we can basically use the Control-C to do it, right? Control-C. Copy everything, that's it. Let me go back to Excel. And under Data tab, we can find that tool that we need in two different places. The first one, From Web, is just right here. You can click on it and you're good. Or if you can't find the From Web using those options here, you can go to Get Data, and all the way down to From Other Sources, you can again find the same option as before, From Web. So let me click on this option because Excel is going to open up a dialog box here. And within this URL bar, let's use again the control, but this time Control V to paste the address. Let me hit OK, and Excel is going to connect with the website, and it's going to load up here within this left panel all the tables that Excel find out. So we have here the first table where we have certain informations, but I don't think this is the table I need. So let's move on to the second table. Okay, maybe this table right here, where we have as the first column all the cryptocurrencies names, and then the short name, and then the current value, and etc. All the informations I need. And of course, if you are you are using a different website, maybe you have more tables, you can just continue to go one table by table to find the one that you are looking for. Then once you find the table, let's say table 2, we can either go to load or transform data. But let me go straight to load, and then I can show you the transform data option. Basically, if we click here on transform data, Excel is going to open up the Power Query where we can do some changes into the data. But anyway, we're going to talk about this later on the video. Let me just click load. What Excel is going to do, it's going to open up here queries and connections to the right. It's going to load the data, and it's going to show me everything that the table we import have. As we guys can see here, different columns, different rows, and it's already working. So this is basically how we can connect Excel to a website to pulling tables. But let's say, and what if a value gets updated? How can we update our table as well? Because if we take a look again into the website, let's take this second row, or in this case, the first cryptocurrency, we have as the value 62,130. If we go here to our table in Excel, the value is quite outdated, right? So to update this data set, we can go to table design and then refresh all. Okay, Excel is going to take maybe a couple of seconds. But let me show you something different right now. Let's say I want to get rid of those columns to the right because I'm not going to use, let's say from column I to column M, for example. However, if I select those columns, right click here and go to delete, okay, I could delete those columns. However, if I again go to data and update the data set, Excel is going to automatically pull in those columns again. So it doesn't matter what I do here. Even if I select a couple of cells, delete those cells, it's not going to actually hide those cells. Because once I go again to refresh all, Excel is going to again pull in all the data. So how can we change the table in order to use a different layout? Let's say change the columns names and etc. What we can do is we can go to query, and all the way here on the left side, we can go to edit, the first option, because Excel is going to open up what is called Power Query. And within here, we can do any change that we are looking for. Let's say we can change the columns names. Let me go to the first column, right click, go to rename all the way down here, and I'm going to call it crypto names, enter. Okay, now I'm going to leave the second column as it is. Let's say the third column, I want to change it to current price. And hit enter. And all the other columns I want to get rid of. So let me click on the second column, right click, remove, and also remove all the other columns that I have. Right click, remove columns, and also those 3 last columns right here. All those columns. That's it, guys. Now I only have 2 different columns in my Power Query editor. And this is how we can basically use the Power Query. We can simply change the layout, the structure of our table. And let me go again to Home tab, close and load this table. Because what Excel is going to do now, it's going to update not only the data of our table, but actually the structure as well. And on top of that, we can also insert some charts, some pivot tables. You can use this table as a normal table of Excel. You can click on it, you can go to insert, and then pivot table from table range, okay? Let me go to OK to insert the pivot table. Let me use here the crypto name, click, hold, and drag within rows, and make current price within values. And if I want to, I can also insert here a chart, a column chart, to display the information. Let's say I don't want to see all those prices. I just want to see some prices. I can go to the filter, select only the ones I want to look for, and then click OK. And that's it. The chart's going to show me only those values. And again, if I update, going to data, refresh all, and refresh all, not only my first table, the green one, is going to be updated, but everything I have within this workbook, the charts, the pivot tables, and etc. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video on how can we connect Excel with a website. If you have any questions or any suggestions to the next videos, let me know, comment down below, and I see you in the next one.